All right. Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the majority of you are now here, so I think it's fair to say that we can get started. Oh, gotta make sure you're able to see the screen properly. All right. So hi, everyone. I'm Lode Grossman, and I'm the co-founder and CCO of Threedium. Welcome to today's 3D webinar. If you're involved with e-commerce or if you're involved with marketing, then this session is for you. We're going to be looking at how to create 3D and AR solutions that transform your buying experience in a groundbreaking way with how people can explore products and fall in love with them. In addition to this, we're going to be going over some strategy on how 3D and AR formats positively impact the customer at various stages within the customer journey. Now, I just want to highlight that this technology has been designed for companies of all sizes. Typically, people who see immersive formats think that these are immensely expensive and very complex. But to the contrary, by having a cloud-based platform, we have heavily simplified this process required to get and publish interactive 3D models across different digital channels, be it e-commerce or digital advertising. All this is provided through affordable subscription plans, so you don't have to be a multinational company. It's essentially for any company that is looking to bridge the gap between the in-store and the online shopping experience. So in a nutshell, you upload images to our platform turns it into 3D, and you can then go and publish it on your website, within an ad, or whichever digital channel you see fit. It's an intuitive and quick process that enables you to bring your products to life. So without further ado, let's get started and let me show you how simple it actually is. So firstly, let's look at the current landscape, the online landscape, and how the experience is elevated with 3D. So companies are still heavily relying on images and video as the only format to display their products. Now, the problem with this is that it's a very pedestrian experience. And so it requires a user to navigate through a large number of images that capture limited perspectives of the product. And then they have to go back and forth between pages to see variations of the very same product. Now, our 3D formats extend the shopping experience and basically go around the limitations of images and video. It enables users to explore products however they see fit. From any angle, they can zoom in and out on any specific product feature and seeing all the different variations in real time without ever leaving the page. Now, the AR format then takes it a step further and allows users to augment the 3D model into any real-world environment. So this is essentially the closest experience someone can have of a product without physically being in a store. And this is exactly the type of experience that arms consumers with the information that they need to confidently make a purchasing decision. Now, how and where does it work? Our 3D and AR formats are experienced directly through the browser. So this is Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and you know the rest, without the need to download an app. So in the AR formats, we take advantage of the cameras in mobile devices, including tablets, that are spatially aware. So this allows us to augment our 3D models in life-size dimensions into any real-world environment. Now, what's great too about 3D and AR formats is that they're fully interactive. So it allows you to view a product from any angle and to configure in real time with zero latency. And what's great about both our 3D and AR formats is that we serve them through iframes, which allow you to place them on your website, within your e-commerce store, within banner ads, and even on social media. So this allows you to use the very same 3D model across different online channels without any additional work involved. So where do you start? How can you obtain 3D and AR formats of your own? Well, it's a very straightforward process. All we require are high resolution images that capture the entirety of a product. So this allows our modeling team to understand what the end result should look like. Then we also need the product dimensions, as this allows our team to ensure we recreate your product one-to-one. This is especially important for the AR format, so that when the user triggers the AR experience, your product shows up in the life-size dimension, giving the user a real grasp of what to expect. Now, understanding the dimension of products is a serious issue that we've seen across different industries. So augmented reality is a fantastic way for your users to immediately understand the size of your product. And lastly, it's always helpful to know on where you want to launch the 3D solution so that our team is aware of your setup and can be readily available in case of support. So now that you understand what we need to get started, let me explain the process. Essentially, our platform is both self-serve, allowing users to create, modify, and publish on their own, or as a managed service, where Threedium creates everything on your behalf, and all you do is publish the solution. So today, I'm going to take you through what the managed service process looks like. So firstly, you go to our Unlimited 3D platform and you create an account. You would then submit a brief either through the platform or via an email to the account manager with the reference images and the product dimensions. Once everything is approved, it will be set up on your account and it'll be ready for you to publish. So let me take you through these steps in more detail. So firstly, as I've mentioned, you have to go to cloud.unlimitedthreed.com. This is where our web platform is. And it requires the same information like any other sign up, just your first and last name, you put in your email and your company name. So once you've registered and you've logged into our platform, you go to you come to the dashboard and you go to the upload image feature. So here's where you would upload the reference images of your product. And you would then provide a short description of what your intention is and what you would like the end solution to look like. So in this case, this user wants a 3D viewer of his watch, and he's going to be embedding it on a Wix website. And again, here you would write all the details you want us to know. So in this case, this user wants to make sure that the background of the 3D model is transparent so that it takes the color or whatever of the website, that there's no background within the placeholder. You then click the purpose, again, here it's 3D viewer, and you submit for a quote. So just to make sure, you can either do this through our platform, or you can also outline this in an email to an account manager and attach the reference images with the dimensions, who will then come back to you with a quote and timeline. So let's say you've submitted for a quote and we come back to you with a quote and timeline and you approve. What happens next is that Threedium then sets everything up on your account, and you then inspect the model to make sure that our team has covered everything that you have outlined in the brief. Is the overall shape correct? The textures, the feel, the look, are all the details that you've provided in the reference images, are they there? If everything checks out, you can then proceed to hit publish, and our platform will generate an iframe. Now, here on the left-hand side, you can see where the iframe is, and here is the model that is within that iframe. So you then just copy the iframe, and you would then go to your desired destination. So in this case, this user wanted to embed it on Wix. So Wix, it's very simple. You can just add a custom HTML iframe. So it's just a custom placeholder, essentially. You add the placeholder, and you would edit the code within that placeholder, so enter the code, and here you just simply paste the iframe. So you hit apply, which basically saves, and voila, the 3D model is on your website. Now, what's really cool is that our iframes are responsive, so if you change the size of the placeholder, the model will immediately change the size accordingly. Again, you can have fixed dimensions and whatnot, but you would just outline this in the brief so that we prepare the solution accordingly. So let's say you're happy with the setup, you basically save, or in this case, publish your site. And once you refresh, you now have a fully interactive model, fully embedded onto your website and ready for your users to see from all angles, to zoom in, and just have a much more rich and compelling experience compared to a static image. Now, for all of you who are thinking that this is quite straightforward, well, what would the process be for a high volume project? Now, it's essentially the same concept, except that what we would do is that Threedium would share a Google Drive folder with you. And within that folder on Google Drive, you would then add your own folders for each SKU, so for each product with their reference images. Now, Threedium has a pool of hundreds of vetted modelers, and so we're able to accomplish a high number of models within short time periods. And again, it's the same concept that once you've provided all the folders with all your reference images, someone from our team will review everything and come back to you with a quote and timeline. Now, normally when we're talking about 30 models or more, we have an average delivery time of 21 business days, and this is on a rolling basis. So that means maybe in the first 7 days, you'll have 10 models, the second 7 days, another 10, and then all 30 by the 21st business day. Now, I just want to highlight again that our formats are applicable really for any type of product and any industry for any website. So a lot of you would, of course, think that this is product orientated, but we've even done a number of solutions for service-based companies. So in this example here is with IPsoft. They specialize in artificial intelligence. And what we've done here is that we've rendered a 3D brain with interactive hotspots that show you the unique abilities of their artificial intelligence. It's again, where we're looking at how can we make an experience a lot more compelling, engaging, and sticky, so memorable, compared to just having an image with paragraphs of text explaining your product or service. So now let's move to the online strategy part. I'd like to show you some different use cases on how 3D impacts the consumer at the different stages in the customer journey. So here in the awareness and discovery stage, this is where the clock starts and the customer lifecycle officially begins. So it's essential that the first touch point is a memorable and lasting experience. And what better way to make your product stand out of the page than with interactive 3D formats? This has shown to be an extremely effective way to redirect users to your desired destination. So in this case here, we've made a 3D banner ad that was programmatically distributed for Nissan. It was for the launch of the new Nissan Qashqai. Again, the user had the ability to change colors and to book a test drive. And same here with Sainsbury's, is that we created a 3D carousel with some of their skincare products just to pull the user's attention to explore those products further. Now, in the consideration and education stage, this is where the consumer evaluates a product. So it's critical to deliver key information to help persuade the consumer to make the best decision in terms of a purchase. So we do this with interactive hotspots that we can place around the model that can trigger text boxes that include text, images, or video. So this is a great way to combine your existing marketing material with our immersive formats to really drive home a compelling brand experience and to make users better understand how to use your product, what they can do with your product. And again, here on the left-hand side, you can see the Nike shoe where we have different callouts that show you what's special about this new model. And then obviously the augmented reality feature to drop that into your own home so you can really experience and see if the shoes match your outfits, if the color is nice and whatnot. Now, the last stage, in the intent and decision stage, this is the last step in the user journey and where the consumer has already decided on a solution category. So this comes back to your product experience. That's going to be the differentiating factor if a consumer is going to come to your brand or a competitor. And this is where we've seen that 3D configurators really shine, as it allows the consumer to explore a product in its entirety, to zoom in and out with rich rendering where they can clearly see the details of the materials, the textures, and the craftsmanship. And this essentially bridges the gap between expectation and reality, because what you see is what you get, right? And this is often an issue with images because they falsely represent the product. So then once you receive your order, it doesn't look as great as what you saw online. And that's a major contributor to product returns. So this is a great way that 3D reduces product returns and provides a more satisfying customer experience. So ladies and gentlemen, this wraps it up for today. Nice, short and crispy. Let's go into the Q&A section. So for all of you who have any questions, please fire away. All right, so one of the questions is how much does it cost to create 20 models? So when it comes to the cost, it really depends on the complexity of the product. So if we're talking about a basic sneaker versus an intricate watch where you can clearly see the movements, obviously there's a different level of work required. But on average, our starting prices for basic models is around £80 per model. And when it becomes more complex, we're looking at 150 to 250 pounds per model. But again, keep in mind that this very same model can be repurposed to be used on your site. You can use it within an ad campaign and for 100 other things, even for CGI videos and whatnot. That's the beauty of 3D, that it's very far reaching. So as I've mentioned before, that when 10 products could be delivered, this comes down to the complexity again. So we have managed to deliver 10 products within a week, but there's also more complex products where we need 2 weeks. But you know, as I've mentioned, when we're talking normally about a high number of products, the average delivery time is 21 business days. But when we're speaking about 10 products and under, this is usually a week or 2 weeks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, there's one more question. If I can confirm that we can only work with images. So with a lot of people who work within 3D, there's different ways that we can work. One is, again, and this is the most simple process, is that you just provide us with images. That's all that's required for you to get a 3D model. Now, there's a lot of companies, especially companies that manufacture their own products, that have in-house CAD files. Those are fantastic for us to work, especially because it gives the exact geometry of the model, so the shape. So if you have CAD files, that's a nice to have. Images are a must have, because that's what we use as a reference as what the end result should be. But yes, images is all that's required to get 3D and AR models. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to any of us on our team. I'll make sure to follow up with some of the demos that you've seen in the presentation, so you can actually interact and feel the experience yourself. And then hopefully we'll be in touch. I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you.